Today on the channel from Mattel Elite SummerSlam line, we've got Randy Orton.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mattel Elite unboxing and review. And today we've got the 2022 SummerSlam Elite lineup with Randy Orton. But remember, for all your wrestling figure needs from Mattel, hit up Wrestling Collectors Shop. Use discount code Kyle and discount code Kyle10 to save. And that's exactly what I did, and I got good old Randy Orton, a stalwart of the Mattel Elite line, a guy that's had many figures. We've had quite a few Randy Orton figures as of late, and he returns once again in this SummerSlam line here. You could almost call this SummerSlam line a Legends line in some aspects, really. A lot of time has passed on all these gears and all these choices, so it's almost a sub-Legend set is this SummerSlam line. But of course, we're going to do this like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So let's take a look at the packaging on old Randy Orton. There he is. When they first showed the glamour shots of this packaging, I was so confused. I saw that shirt for Dominic in there, and I said, when did Randy Orton wear that shirt? That is so weird. I don't remember that. And it took me way longer than I'd like to admit to everyone here that that wasn't Randy Orton's shirt. But here we are, Dominic's shirt included here. Of course, this is part of the Dominic Build-A-Figure way. But you get Randy Orton with the old big gold belt, his first title win. I believe that was when he was the youngest champion of all time, something like that. And then we get extra hands with him, of course. Glamour shots, Dominic, all that fun stuff. WWE Elite. Beautiful SummerSlam package. There's old Randy looking only like he could look in the SummerSlam Elite 2022 packaging. Of course, SummerSlam line, traditionally part of the traditional Elite line, this time separated. It's its own world, own pay-per-view entity with Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. So there you go. You got his name over there, True Effects, Certified Authentic, all that fun stuff. Got the cross-sell and Dominic down at the bottom. Of course, we're unboxing every single one of these on the channel. Then at the very last video, we're going to build Dominic, and we're going to do a ranking of the entire wave from my least favorite to my favorite, so stay tuned for that. Got the old tail of the tape, got the blurb. You guys know I love a tail of the tape. I love a blurb, so we'll read those. SummerSlam logo, Elite, and a little Randy Orton glamour shot. Let's dig into it. Let's see what's going on here. From St. Louis, Missouri, beautiful this time of year. Let's head on down. Let's get some Emo's Pizza, and we'll have a party down there. Height 6'5", weight 250 pounds. Finisher, of course, the RKO. Career highlights: WWE Champion, Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion. The youngest member of Evolution became the youngest WWE Champion in history at SummerSlam 2005. Crazy wild times back then. Randy Orton, quite the storied career, as we all know. I've said it before in other unboxings reviews. Not my all-time favorite superstar. Current work with Matt Riddle. Riddle, of course, probably my current favorite star in the WWE right now. I've been a fan of Riddle for a long time, so he's getting the Riddle rub for me, which most people, Riddle's getting the rub off their fandom of Orton, if that makes sense. But I like what they're doing. Hopefully they're going to stick together. This is probably my favorite run of Orton's career, and it sounds like he's in kind of the same boat. But I did enjoy the Evolution. It gave me those Horseman vibes back in the day. I've always liked Triple H. You guys know I love Ric Flair. Orton up and coming. Batista. I really enjoyed his work during that time as well. So a great faction, one of the all-time best factions, which you wouldn't have heard 2005 Kyle say that, but 2022 Kyle, he's saying it. He's putting it down. Somebody mark that down over there. I always have an audience watching from the couch over there. Or maybe not, but let's dig in. Let's see what Randy Orton's up to. Let's get after it. WWE logo back there. New to the SummerSlam packaging. Very cool. See you later. Goodbye. There it goes. And we get down to the Build-A-Figure parts are always crack me up a little bit. We get Orton in his mystical, magical wizard hands. He's got the title belt, of course. We've got Orton. Very iconic gear. We'll get into that. We'll talk a little bit about that in this video, of course, at the end. And then you got Dominic's t-shirt and his very little torso. Oh, what a little torso it is. All right, pull that out. Pop that out. Pop that out. Pop that out. And we're off. See you later. Goodbye. There it goes. Spider-Man style. Pew! See you later. There it is. Now let's get down to the business here. So we get Dominic in his shirt. What a beautiful, almost Hawaiian-esque shirt. I can see some people using this for other fig photography, other things. Might not be bad. If you don't want Dominic, you pick up Orton. You can use this on a different character, different figure. Bring this over to AEW figures. Put this on a Kenny Omega with his glasses and stuff. Customizer's dream right there. And you get this little torso. He's just a little guy, and we'll talk about him at the end of the week, as I said earlier. We do get the hands with Orton. No surprise here. You get those mystical, magical Randy Orton hands. We've had them many a times. We'll have them many times again, but we've seen these before. Unfortunately, no fists of fury on Randy Orton. He wasn't throwing a lot of fists during this day and age, apparently, because he doesn't have any with him. We do got a rubber band holding in the old big gold title belt. Get that off. See you later. And of course the belt we've seen many a times, but I got no problems getting more belts. I always love it. If you don't want to put this with Orton, put this with Flair. Put it with somebody else. Choose your own title belt adventure, but it's a beautiful one and one of my all-time favorites. One of my favorite belts right there. So we'll put that right there. And now we get down to the man, the myth, the legend, the Randy Orton. See what he's up to. Now, we've seen this Orton torso a few times. Ooh, I do got a little bit of weird paint on one of the eyes. Hopefully I can scrub that out. Just a little bit of a paint mark going on, so that's unfortunate. I'll have to work on getting that out of there. But we've seen this Orton before, this body mold before. It's, for all intents and purposes, a repaint, but it is a good repaint. I'm not against repaints. Getting the most out of your molds, especially iconic gear. It's pretty easy to change an Orton figure. You just change the trunks for the most part. Maybe you change the face, but they don't do that very often, as we've seen over the years. So this isn't a lot of reinventing the wheel going on here. Do we even have pinless joints on this one? We do have pinless joints. We got double jointed elbows and pinless joints on the elbows there. Not pinless down low, but I do prefer the pinless joints, as I talk about ad nauseum in these reviews. I really do prefer the pinless joints. So we do get that here, so that is some update. I think we've seen it before with his last figure, but it seems like they're going to carry that torch on, and I'm glad they are. But it's Orton. It's your typical Orton Elite. This is just kind of a basic Elite is what this feels like. This is kind of a basic body type and in the Elite form. But you got the double jointed pinless elbows, hands removable, forearm tape painted on there, the wrist tape I should say. You do get Orton's tattoos he had at the time here, not fully sleeved out quite yet, but you do have those all the way around from the back. The head looks good. It definitely is Randy Orton. You give me this head, I'm going to tell you it's Randy Orton all day. Unfortunately, I do have that one little paint splice right there, that little spot. A little annoying. You do get the ab crunch, of course. We know all about those ab crunches. We got the waist, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, boot cut, ankle, side to side, up and down, all the fun stuff. But just your paint by numbers Elite here, getting the most out of your molds, getting the most out of your stuff, and you got to do that from time to time. And like I said, this almost feels like a Legends line, as a lot of these characters, a lot of these figures in this set are basically legends at this point. And it's crazy. A lot of us think legends, oh, you're thinking Hulk Hogan, you're thinking Macho Man. Well, the Ruthless Aggression era has crept up, being 20 years ago, and now those are starting to be the legends. The people that grew up watching those are no different than the guys like me watching the LOD and Demolition and the Ultimate Warrior and Terry Funk as a kid. It's the changing of the guard, the passing of the old torch. Who can I pass this channel on to? I need to find one of you guys I can pass the torch to that can take over this madness, because this era is coming on strong, and they're going to be in a lot more Legends series, I think, in the years to come. I'd bet the house on it. Bet the house. There you go. But a good Orton, of course, Orton on the back of the trunks. I forgot to mention that, but we knew that was there. We knew that was there. And what is iconic about this one is kind of the orangish salmon-colored trunks he was wearing for that title win. So I should talk about that. It's got the Orton graphics, all that, but it's got those orange trunks that were iconic for that win. It's, you know, it's like Flair in his first championship robe. It's kind of that kind of feel a little bit here. And we have seen this in figure form in the past from our old friends Jax, the old Ruthless Aggression line. And now, how many other reviewers can compare all these figures? Because you guys know I love all the Jax stuff, and a lot of these figures are coming modern day takes on some of these Jax figures, and that's exactly what we got going on here. So we can do a lot of these comparisons, and once we get to the RA line, the Ruthless Aggression inspired line from Mattel this summer from Walmart, we're going to do a lot of this kind of stuff. We can compare the Jax version to the Mattel, knowing there's been 15 or more years in between them, so you got to take that. But it's cool to see the updates of some classic figures we really enjoyed in really the heyday of action figure collecting back then. I guess depends who you talk to, but a very fun time collecting the Jax, at least for me. But you can kind of see these guys side by side. I will say this Jax Randy Orton, is there more punchable face than this Jax Ruthless Aggression Randy Orton? One of the all-time worst head scans of all time. He just looks like a guy you just want to pop right in the nose. I mean, he really does. Terrible, terrible head scan. And then, of course, being Jax, they gave us this in like 7 different figures over the years. Of course they did. But you can kind of compare and see the difference between the two. Technology, how far we've come. Constant learning, constant improvement. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? What are your thoughts on this Randy Orton? Is he enough meat on the bone for you? Do you have enough Ortons where you can pass on this one? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Of course, like this video. You made it this far. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the old notification bell. And of course, follow along on Patreon for this video early and a lot of other early bonus content, giveaways, exclusive content, a lot of fun over there on the Patreon. And best of all, you support the channel. And then chat me up over there on Twitter at SirPaul64 and then Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson and ProWrestlingTees.com. Support the channel, pick up a t-shirt. So for Randall Orton, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.